Good day, everyone. I am Randy Vil Garcia, a BS Criminology student from Section A. And today, I would like to share to you what I have learned based on the previous discussions of our teacher in this subject, Correctional Administration 1, focused on institutional correction. So, let's start. So, first, we should define what is institutional correction and how it is different from non-institutional correction. So when we say institutional correction, it is a process of rehabilitation or reformation of an convicted offender which is done inside the prison or jail. However, when we say non-institutional correction, it is also a process of rehabilitation or a penalty sentence. However, a person or a convicted person will pay his fine and outside the prison or jail. In short, he will have a rehabilitation program in the community. So that's how they differ. They are differ from each other. So next, we have to tackle about the history of Philippine correctional system. So in 1880s, the jail and the prison was managed or supervised by the Bureau of Prisons, and the Bureau of Prisons is under the Department of Justice. However, in 1981 or 1991, the I mean the PNP or the Philippine National Police took the administration to supervise or to have supervision or manage the jails. So let's proceed to the early punishment during primitive time. So before, the punishments is so harsh or unusual. So when you say unusual or harsh, there is a brutality or torture, flogging, or public humiliation happened. It is because the reason why there's these brutal punishments is because there's a lack of courts and trials. So and also there is less protection between uh, to those people because there's um, no human rights. So walang human rights doon. Kaya nagkakaroon ng mga brutal punishments. So next, we have to tackle the pillar of criminal justice system. And we know that there's five pillars, and ang bida dito is what we call the correction. So in correction, the purpose is to it is a branch of criminal justice system which is the purpose or is to have concerned in custody, rehabilitate or reform those convicted offenders in jail or either prison. So however, correction can be considered as the weakest pillar because hindi natin masisiguro na after ma-serve ng isang tao yung kanang sentensya, pagbalik na sa community, hindi natin masisiguro na nagbago na siya. It is because there's some factors na mag-trigger sa kanya na mag-commit again ng crime. So, let's proceed to some punishments. There are four punishments that is famous before. So first, we have the blood feuds. Second, we have the blood feuds means that there is a law or system that a victim is the one who carried out the punishment to his or her offender. So meaning, ang isang biktima ay siya yung the one or with the help of his or her family, sila yung ibibigay ng punishment sa taong nagkasala sa kanila. However, there's instances that the offender, yung mga pamilya ng offender will kakampi sa kanilang anak or kanilang ama or let us say relatives. So there's a war between the offender and the victim. So next, we have also the lex talionis or the law of retribution. So or retaliation. So, Miss Lex Talionis, ito ay code and it was based on, nakabase dito si King Hammurabi of Babylon. Then, ang concept ng Lex Talionis is to punish those criminals or offenders based on what he did. So, kung pumatay ka, then papatayin ka rin. Then, next, we have the medieval punishments. So, there are 3 in medieval punishments. First is the Iron Maiden. So, yung Iron Maiden, ito yung concept na parusa in which ang isang tao ay ilagay sa box-like device and there's mga spikes na tutusok sa kanya which caused him to death. And also, we have this darak. So, yung darak is i-drag yung isang tao which is his or her joint will separated. Also, we have this Tower of London. So, yung Tower of London, the concept is yung isang tao is eco-compressed, which is his blood will be skewed. So, mapipiga yung isang tao. And the last one we have, the fourth one is the banishment and exile, which wherein the serious offenders will be transported from isolated or far places. So, yung isang tao raw is i-transport ng walang anumang communication from their parents or relatives. So next, we have to tackle about the schools of penology. So there are 3, which is the classical school, the positivist school, and the neoclassical. When we say classical school, ito yung believes that person have a free will to do crime. Then, because of the free doctrine of free will, so it was advocated by the Caesar Beccaria. And yung person daw is have to gain pleasure. Then, when we say positivist school of thought, it was advocated by father of modern criminology, Caesar Lombroso, and he's opposed on the classical school because he said that a person who committed a crime is a sick person that needs treatment because they did not know what is right or wrong. And then we have the neoclassical school. So, itong neoclassical, sila yung nag-believe sa classical school. And however, there's some exemptions like kung isang tao ay mapaparusahan, dapat may exemption. Kung like child or lunatics or those person with disabilities. So, yun lang yung schools of penology. Next, we have to tackle what is the difference between jail and prison. So, when we say jail, ito yung this is a confinement wherein a person belong in jail is what we call the person belong in jail is what we call an inmate also. However, their sentence is not more than 3 years, or they have a sentence or penalty of 3 years pababa. Then, when we say jail, it is under the management of BGMP, and the BGMP is under the DILG. And when we say prison, it is those inmates here or convicted offenders have sentence of 3 years above. So, yung prison daw is sinusupervised ng Bureau of Correction, which is the Bureau of Correction is under the Department of Justice. So, ano namang pagkakaiba ng inmate tsaka detainee? So, when we say inmate, sila na yung nasa jail and prison, which is nakatanggap na sila ng final judgment galing sa court. And when we say detainee, they are innocent because hindi pa sila na bibigyan ng final judgment and they are waiting from preliminary investigation and trials. So, dapat hindi natin sila i-provoke na mga criminals because detainee are can be presumpted as an innocent. So, that's all. That's all for my video. Thank you and God bless.